This couldn't have come at a better time, as the Lakers had their first game in days, and it looked like it, as they were able to squeak by in Utah, led by their leaders, Luka Doncic, who was incredible once again. However, the Lakers got some much needed help from an unexpected source off the bench, which helped propel the Lakers to victory. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming to you with another video. And before we get into that game recap, guys, I just remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because if you haven't noticed, this Lakers season has begun, and if you want all of those Laker updates, make sure you guys are subscribed to Lakers Digest. Now, without other, let's hop straight into that game recap, guys, because the Lakers were able to outlast the Jazz. So the Lakers ended up being in a closer game than they probably would have liked, as they won that game 108-106, and it really got close there towards the end. That Lauri Markkanen had a huge flurry, had 10 points there in like the final 2 minutes of the game to really make it close there for the Lakers. But the Lakers were able to get the much needed victory in this one, and now improved to 4 straight wins, and they're heading back to LA for that quick 1-game trip in Utah. But there were some guys who really made their impact felt that didn't really show up too much in the stat sheet, but we're going to dive straight into the stats there because it tells a bit of the story there, as Luka Doncic led the way for the Lakers with 33 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He did have 6 turnovers in this one, and then Austin Reaves had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, along with 3 turnovers. LeBron James didn't shoot the ball too well. That was a common theme for most of the guys on the team, as Luka was only 3 for 12 and Austin was 1 for 8. He was 8 of 18, and he had 8 assists though, but he had 17 points to go along with 6 rebounds. And then there was a couple of other guys. DeAndre Ayton only played 13 minutes in this one because he left with a right knee contusion. And then off the bench there, Marcus Smart was a plus 18 in the plus minus department there. So just very impactful game for Marcus Smart, but other guys off the bench as well. Maxi, Gabe Vincent really made their presence be known, even though it didn't show up too much there in the stat sheet. But the Lakers were able to get this win here, and honestly, this is just like an overall theme of the Los Angeles Lakers. They haven't been shooting the 3-ball too well to start the season. They've been one of the bottom teams shooting the ball three-pointers wise, but they're still 12-4 to start the season, so it is still a very good start. Besides that, and there's a couple other things that we're finding out about this Laker team here in this early parts of the team. And yes, this is not a good defensive team, but this team can play defense just for quarters at a time. So the Lakers were able to take control of the game mostly towards that end of the third quarter, into that fourth quarter time period, where they're able to take hold of the game, and mostly they did it with the defense. And they had a couple of guys who really were making their impact felt, Gabe Vincent and Maxi specifically, but I'll get a little deeper into those guys as well. But the Lakers were just led by their leaders, Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves and LeBron James. And albeit the Jazz were able to come back with a little bit of a punch of themselves, because they had a couple of guys on their end. Like I said, Lauri Markkanen had a huge flurry of points there towards the end of the game, finished with 20 points after being held for most of the game to 10. And then Keyonte George continues just to be a very good player. I'm really starting to like him. He has 27 points, was 4 of 10 from 3-point land. And then Ace Bailey had 10, Yusuf Nurkic with 11, Speed with 12, and then off the bench there, Isaiah Collier with 10. So they had a nice little spread of points there throughout their guys, and that's why they're able to stay within the game. They have a really solid offense there, especially led by Keyonte George and Lauri Markkanen. They have a lot of shooters, just a lot of different things that you can do on that side of the ball. They're definitely a deficiency team defensively, but the Lakers weren't really making the Jazz pay for their 3-point shots, because they were getting a lot of good looks there for 3-point shots, but they just weren't able to get them down. And then, like I said, their defense can wax and wane. The Lakers can from time to time, but it can show up in spurts, and it can be really led by guys just off the bench there. Marcus Smart was a big just switch player. Just the moment he steps into the game, you can just tell that he's in there, just really making an impact, just whether it's denying the ball, or whether he's on the ball, or whether he's switching and he's on a big person, or he's on a smaller guy and really trying to wreak havoc and use his size. So he was really making his impact felt. But there was another guy that I want to get to that was also making an impact being felt, and Maxi was making an impact on the floor. And this is kind of surprising, because Maxi was thought out to be mostly a trade piece for a lot of Laker fans. He probably still is a trade piece for a lot of Laker fans, because people are throwing his contract into the trade machine and trying to find the right trade for Maxi Kleber. But Maxi Kleber, when his number was called, he has been making his name be known, and he's been playing very solid basketball, albeit it's not showing up in the stats, but it is showing up in the coaches' hearts and minds, and also the Laker players as well. So this is just the common theme that was just going around Lakers Twitter, but this is what JJ Redick said about Kleber, but Maxi coming in the second half and really changed the game for us with his physicality, and that was really apparent because Maxi Kleber is a guy that a lot of people overlook, really, just because he hasn't been the same guy that he was a couple of seasons ago. I want to say way back when the Clippers and Mavericks were really going together in those first round playoff series, where he was really guarding a lot of people on the ball and really hitting those outside shots. But he's just really a sturdy vet, just a guy that knows how to set screens, when to set screens, knows where to be offensively, whether if he's knocking down shots or not, or defensively, just is really sound on that end of the ball. Obviously, he's not the most athletic dude anymore, but he definitely looked probably the healthiest he looked all season. It was being well noted out there that Maxi Kleber looked probably the best that he's looked. And he also had a very nice black shot on, I believe it was Keontae George towards the end of the shot clock. So he was showing some of the things that he doesn't usually do. So blocking some shots as well. So Maxi Kleber really playing well for the Lakers, and the Lakers needed it because DeAndre Ayton was out for the rest of the game because he had a right knee contusion. It was probably happening somewhere in the first quarter. I noticed him limping a little bit there, but then he didn't come back out for the second half. So the Lakers started with Jackson Hayes, and then they went to Maxi Kleber, who really was able to just impose his will, even though he didn't really do too much on the stat sheet. Just that screen setting is just very undervalued for a lot of guys around the league, but he's just a very solid screen setter. And then just his switchability on defense, because the Lakers do a lot of switching schemes, a lot of things they do. They pre-switch, they peel switch, they do a lot of different things with switching, and Maxi Kleber is very good and adept with that. He is a solid communicator, it looks like, on the floor, and he's able to sort of like be that backline defender the Lakers need. And also, he was playing a little bit of 4 too, so there's some versatility with a guy like Maxi Kleber, and just the different spots that he can play defensively kind of opens things up for the Lakers a little bit in the short term, because if you are going to be without DeAndre Ayton possibly for a game or two, then you're going to need a guy like Maxi Kleber to step up like he did in tonight's game and make an impact, whether it's not even with the scoring too much, but he did score some important points there. I think he had the Lakers' only field goal there towards the end there, where he racked a closeout and was able to get a dunk. And the Lakers went up 107, I believe 105 was the score at the time. So Maxi Kleber was able to do what he needed to do. And then also Gabe Vincent, who was also in those lineups, in those groupings, was able to use his speed, really cut guys off like Isaiah Collier and Keontae George, and also just making his impact felt for some of the bigger guys. So he had a strip on Lauri Markkanen. He got that a couple times on Filipowski. So there is times where Gabe Vincent was really impactful as well. So the Lakers needed this, especially without having DeAndre Ayton there on the floor, and they were able to get defense in different spots of the floor, and that's kind of going to be the team's MO here. They're not going to be a team that's going to play defense for 48 minutes, but they're probably going to be a team that can play a defense for 12 to 24 minutes, like really good defense. And I'm talking about where they can get stops, get runouts. They were able to get fast break points. LeBron James has been a big factor. The Lakers' fast break points has been going up the past couple of games just because of his presence and then just his ability to get there out there on the break. So the Lakers were able to get this one 108-106. Their next game is going to be against the LA Clippers, an NBA Cup game in this one. The Lakers really control their own fate in the NBA Cup. If they win the next couple of games, they are probably going to be in very good shape to be heading to Las Vegas. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys comment down below of what you guys think of this game. How do you think the stars failed? Luka, Austin, and then LeBron James, who is still clearly working his way back, trying to find his conditioning and stuff like that. And then what do you think of the guys off the bench, like Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber of his play, and then also Marcus Smart? How do you think those guys fared? Let us know in the comments down below. And just one more thing for us, guys. There is still 66% of you guys who recently watched our videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys can come right here to Lakers Digest. All right, I've been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.